What happens when the mountain everyone associates with Armenia isn't actually here? We came looking for it, but this isn't just any mountain. It's the country's national symbol, tied to ancient stories and modern struggles. Yet, we could never quite reach it. And that tension shaped our time here.
Come with us to Yerevan, one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities, nearly 2,800 years of history. Why does the symbol matter so much? What was it like to chase after it? And how walkable and livable did Yerevan feel after 2 weeks here? I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Find Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way. Armenia is a small mountainous country in the South Caucasus, bordered by Turkey, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Iran. Its capital, Yerevan, is where our search begins. From here, Mount Ararat rises just across the closed border with Turkey, always visible, yet out of reach. So here's the paradox. If it's Armenia's national symbol, why isn't it inside Armenia?
After World War I and the fall of the Ottoman Empire, new treaties placed Ararat inside modern Turkey. For Armenians, it became a painful reminder, close enough to fill the skyline, but cut off by a border they cannot cross. And still the mountain endures as their symbol. For centuries, Armenians have seen it as the cradle of their civilization. And according to the book of Genesis, this is where Noah's Ark came to rest after the flood. That story gave Ararat sacred weight, survival, renewal, faith. No border could erase that. How can a mountain beyond reach still anchor a nation's soul? Our search began at the Cascade Complex, Yerevan's giant stairway of white limestone terraces. It's part art gallery, part gathering place, and on a clear day, it should frame Mount Ararat in the distance.
You say there was a stair count for this?
There's 7, 38, 39. It actually, wait, stop, I don't lose count. It actually is supposed to be over 500 steps. I think like 527. Now I will say that these stairs are shallow, so that is a big win.
I am loving all the art here in Yerevan. This complex and just around the city. There's statues, there's tributes to music, the artists, playwrights. Very cool. Love that in the city. I thought you said the escalators weren't available. Why would you lie to me?
I heard that this whole complex was closed.
Does that look close to you?
What can I tell you?
Well, at least you got up to like 180 steps, so.
Yes. Which is not to say we won't continue, but, and this is not really air conditioned.
It's more air conditioned than the sun outside. Let's try it. Just for kicks.
So we'll admit that we're coming in here only to see all of the different art exhibits, which we wouldn't be able to see from the outside.
That's right. It has nothing to do with the cooler air or the escalators or anything else.
Exactly.
No. It's for the art. We're doing this for the art. Didn't take an escalator at all. Perfect. Just all upstairs.
I'm sweating as though we did do it that way, though.
Unfortunately, the mountain was hidden. We stood at the top looking over the city, squinting at the haze where its peak should have been. The chase had begun, but the mountain eluded us. For mobility, the Cascade is a bit of a test. You can climb hundreds of stairs for the view, but there are also escalators tucked inside. Either way, it's a climb. Rewarding, but not effortless. Okay, end of the escalators. We give it a 2.5 on a mobility scale because the final section isn't accessible by escalators. So close to missing our food because we couldn't figure out a restaurant.
Note to self, when you're supposed to meet in a place, make sure you know where it is so you can come back to it.
A good idea. I'm blaming the heat. Food in Armenia comes with stories too. We watch women make lavash, bread stretched and baked in clay ovens, which are holes in the ground they have to stick their hands in, a tradition passed down for generations.
This is harissa, which I'm told is basically Armenia in a bowl. It is chicken and wheat, butter. It's kind of a heavy meal, but it is supposed to embody the Armenian spirit. So I felt like we needed to have some while we're here.
And be very careful, it looks very hot. Or just put it all in your mouth.
Wow. It's like a big hug. It is really good.
Oh, really? Comfort food. Nice.
It's got butter. How could it not be?
Butter, wheat, sure, chicken.
And it's got wheat berries, so they're kind of crunchy, add some texture.
Nice.
Really good.
Good. Well, we got to try it. Our favorite dessert here was gata, a sweet, flaky bread filled with sugar and cinnamon.
Yes, wonderful. Thanks. It smells really good. And it's got berries in it.
Looks like
Yeah,
dates
it's
too.
fruit. Maybe peaches and blueberries.
Fancier than the last one we got.
Well, this one is Guinness World Record
Right.
style, so
Wow, look at that service.
it's very good.
Yeah.
It's light, it's very flaky.
Meals were often family style, heavy on meats, warm with generosity. So we're heading to Vernissage Market.
Yes, it's a flea market, and that's not really something that we love doing, but at the same time, it's always interesting to see what people value enough to sell. And there's supposed to be some Soviet era memorabilia as well, and that will be interesting to look at. We're trying to get a sense of who the people are in Armenia.
It's a hot day, so wearing protection and sweating a little bit even though we're hardly on our way.
Yes, I will say that there's a lot of concrete-esque space here. There's volcanic stone, which is very unique to this area.
Very sturdy looking, but also it feels like it radiates heat. I feel like I'm in an oven.
Yes. And even here, the mountain followed us. At the Vernissage market, stall after stall overflowed with art, antiques, Soviet relics, and everywhere, symbols of Mount Ararat. Paintings, carvings, trinkets. It was on the tables, in the designs, almost in the food itself. This is more what I came here for, seeing some of the history as opposed to the touristy souvenirs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, postcards. I appreciate the postcards that actually have been sent to someone that are available, because then you can, I mean, obviously, if you can't read it, you don't know what it says, or you have to translate
story.
it.
There's some
Yes,
story.
there's a story there, and sometimes, you know, a local will read it to you, so you kind of understand the significance of it, which I find really much more interesting than some of the other stuff here. I was looking at the journals. I do miss having paper and pen to write with, but it's heavy for the way we travel.
Every little thing, right? The vintage Nokia phone in the middle of all this other vintage stuff. It's cool.
The mountain was visible in spirit, even when the skyline kept it hidden.
Historic cigarette packets.
Okay. They're probably weights for paying for something, but these are the kind of kettlebells
That's our size?
that are my size.
Oh, yeah. So as markets go, this was actually kind of nice. There's the standard, yeah, it's mass produced, it's sold everywhere. But there's also a lot of keepsakes and memorabilia and handcrafted stuff. So it's a really decent sized market. You're not just going to find a couple booths. I was impressed by it.
Yeah, definitely a nice way to just browse and spend an afternoon if you want. It's always interesting to see what people are selling and what people are buying.
I would love to browse this on a cooler day too. A little hot today, but still enjoyable and nice and big.
Yes.
Come on a weekend. Getting around this city was fairly smooth. The market's flat and easy to navigate, though it's crowded at times. A lot of the buildings have inner courtyards and kind of streets behind them too, not necessarily through streets. But it's cool to see some painting and decoration on this one. Have you ever gone looking for one thing in your travels and found echoes of it everywhere else instead? Eventually, our search for understanding brought us to Armenia's Genocide Memorial and Museum. The exterior alone is stark and powerful, a flame burning in memory of over 1 million Armenians killed in 1915.
Inside, photographs and artifacts told the story of villages erased, families scattered, and a people forced into survival. It was sobering and heavy, and it gave deeper weight to why Ararat matters. It isn't just a mountain. For Armenians, it's survival, it's identity. It's what remains visible, even when so much was taken away. Leaving the museum, we needed a pause. Yerevan itself seemed to know that. People on the streets laughing, music drifting through cafes, life insisting on continuing. That resilience was as much a part of the city as its scars. Just across town, the Mother Armenia statue carries the same spirit. Sword in hand, she represents strength and vigilance, watching over the capital from Victory Park. At her base burns an eternal flame honoring soldiers, a reminder of sacrifice and resilience.
One of the things I really like about the Mother Armenia statue is that she replaces a statue of Stalin.
After the grief of the Genocide Museum, this felt like the other half of the story, a people not only defined by loss, but by endurance.
And the city itself reflects that resilience in stone. Nearly every building glowed pink or orange, built from volcanic tuff unique to Armenia.
Travel here wasn't seamless. There were 4 power outages, and we each caught a cold. Yerevan showed us that patience is all a part of living here. We were determined to try to see the elusive Mount Ararat.
So we're on a bus going to where? Garni and Geghard?
Geghard, the Arch of Charents, Symphony of Stones, and lavage making. So it's going to be a full day of sightseeing with our hope of getting a closer view of Mount Ararat.
If it's not obscured by fog or anything else.
Our first stop was the Arch of Charents, built in 1957 to honor a poet.
Can't see Ararat?
No, this was supposed to be like the perfect spot to be able to see it clearly, but there's fog and it's overcast and it's hidden away.
There between those. Looks like mountains over here, but that's not it. It's right in the middle there. Foggy. People have said if you stared intently, you could see that.
Yeah, you could kind of see the outline, and somebody said if you have sunglasses, which we don't, but...
Polarization? I need polarized sunglasses. I didn't know. But like at the Cascade, the view of Ararat was lost to haze. It seemed like we were doomed to chasing something that never quite appeared. Nearby, the rock-hewn Monastery of Geghard carried us into another layer of history. Carved straight into the mountainside, its chambers echoed with centuries of prayer. Here, we felt the endurance of the Armenian faith, the same faith that looks every day to Ararat.
Down in the gorge below, nature carved its own masterpiece, the Symphony of Stones, towering hexagonal cliffs of cooled lava.
Our guide warned us that the rocks actively fall, so please don't get too close to them. Take as many pictures as you want, just keep your distance. You found what? Feathers?
These don't look like feathers. They're just the way they're carved. Just look like feathers, yeah.
Yeah, they look delicate.
Yes. Which they're the same, but
Right.
because there's a little bit of perspective.
Yeah, very different angle. We're seeing the bottom of them here. Like facing towards us.
From there, we continued to Garni Temple, the only standing Greco-Roman temple in the region, built in the 1st century.
This reminds me of our first visit to Greece. I don't know, it's kind of a fun memory to think about, first of all, that we had even gone to Greece because it was such a aspirational place.
Mobility out here was challenging. We give it a 2.5. We recommend sturdy shoes, but even so, there are uneven stone steps at both Garni and Geghard, and a very steep path through the Symphony of Stones.
This is a nice day.
It's a very nice day.
I'm glad we made the effort to come out here. It was really enjoyable.
Because we're at a higher elevation, it's just a little bit cooler. A nice breeze. Bonus gift.
Very nice.
No matter how hard we tried, we never did see Ararat in its full majesty. Maybe if we had stayed longer, the clouds would have cleared. Instead, we pieced together its outline, faint, hidden, yet always there.
And maybe that's the point. Living in Yerevan means carrying both presence and absence. A mountain that defines you, yet lies beyond reach. A history that shaped you, even when the borders tried to erase it. After 2 weeks, we had a real sense of how livable Yerevan felt. Not just in walkability and vibe, but in affordability too. Here's what daily life ended up costing. We took a bus from Tbilisi, Georgia, and spent $60 or $30 per person. Accommodations were $715 or $51 per day. Getting around the city cost $17. Dining and groceries were a total of $1,000 or $36 per person per day. Tours cost us a total of $59 for a total of $1,979. Minus the cost of transportation to get from Tbilisi, we spent $1,919, which breaks down to $137 per day and $69 per person per day. In the end, Yerevan wasn't just another city on our map. It was a reminder that some of the most powerful things in travel are the ones you can't fully hold or touch.
Thanks so much for coming along with us to Armenia. If you haven't already subscribed, we would love for you to do that. Our next stop is Montenegro.
And remember to
Wander more,
worry less,
and bring a passport.
Until next time.
Until next time.
If you want to see how this journey connects across borders, watch our episode from neighboring Georgia.
And if you're curious about what full-time travel feels like after 1,000 days on the road, we share the 10 small rules that changed how we move through the world.